Where is it? It has to be somewhere around here. Hey, what are you doing there? You're making a mess out of this place. At least, more than before. I'm searching for my headphones. I need to learn for the test tomorrow and I'm not able to find them anywhere. Why do you need headphones to learn maths? Without them, I'm not able to learn properly. Now help me search for them. No, they make the learning process even worse. You can't even learn without a dopamine hit next to it. Jesus. I think that I have to teach you how to learn properly. And without headphones. Okay, but afterwards you help me with finding them. You're not serious. I'm not reading a book about it. But how do you want to learn instead? I'm just going to watch a video about it. That will give me the most amount of information while also making it fun. Okay, then try it out and see what happens tomorrow.
So, here we are. No calculators are allowed during this test, and no looking at your neighbor's paper. The test begins.
Yes, let's go! First question. Easy. This test is going to be a piece of cake.
Several bad puns later.
So, how did it go? Well, I got my name right. What? Don't tell me you got an F. I got 0 points. And what do we learn from that? Yeah, show me how it's really done already. No problem. Let's go right into this. Learning for me wasn't that big of a problem and I got through it rather quickly. The main problem that I had was starting with it and then maintaining a certain amount of focus on that task. I obviously didn't want to do it and rather play some video games or watch some YouTube. But when I got onto it, I used certain rules to make the learning progress as effective and fast as possible. And to make sure that you are able to learn as fast, I want to share with you my ways how to learn new things and make them stick. First of all, you have to get the information to learn it. You can get it through a lot of ways like Google, books, YouTube, or directly from a person. YouTube, for example, has lots and lots of creators and videos on multiple of topics, but these videos aren't mostly designed to inform you, but rather to keep you entertained and watching the video. So, to really get proper and structured information, search for full guides on YouTube or stick to the other sources like Google and books. There you will also have a lot of freedom to decide what you want to learn, but you will rather get structured and well-written texts that are going to give you information more precise and understandable. Talking to and learning from another person will not only give you the opportunity to ask for further explanations, but to also get instant feedback from them while you're in that learning process, which I will explain a bit further in a few seconds. Then, whenever you learn something new, if it's through the tactics described or just normally throughout your day, it is the best idea to write them down in your own words instantly. You can do it in a notes app or even just on your computer, but I would highly advise you that you do it on a piece of paper, because this will make it more likely for you to remember the information and will even improve your handwriting if it's as bad as mine. Writing the information down in your own words will get you to thoroughly think about what you have just learned and will burn it into your brain. And when you've got a little time or just want to revise something that you've just learned, then all you have to do is to just pick up your notes and look at them. Over time, you will have your own encyclopedia where all of the relevant information will be stored in a way that you understand it the most. But if you want to learn something that's more complex and practical, then you have to put your full focus and attention to it. No music or podcasts that's running beside, and no breaks after every 15 minutes. Do this by planning out enough time for the task and by removing all of the distractions that you have. Turn off your phone, lock yourself into your room and only work on that task. I do this for a lot of simple tasks, and when I'm studying something, it works wonders because of one thing: flow. Flow describes a state where you achieve 100% of your thinking capacity and where you're able to work through hard tasks in a matter of minutes. And you will even have a pleasant feeling while doing it because the new challenges and tasks that you have in front of you don't feel like a burden anymore. You can achieve said flow state by fully focusing on a certain task over an extended period of time. Depending on your level of attention and focus, this can take anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes. Most of you have probably fallen into a flow state many times without even realizing it. As a concrete example, when you play sports or study for an upcoming situation, flow state occurs when you keep going and 2 hours have passed without you even realizing it. Because as I said, in this state, new challenges and tasks don't feel like anything and you are able to learn and use new information way faster. So if you aren't taking notes on this video already, then at least try out that the next time you fall into a flow state when you work or study something, and I will guarantee you that you will be happy while doing it and even finish the task in half the time you would normally take for it. Then, of course, practice makes you perfect. Especially when you want to remember something that you just learned, practicing it will do exactly that. By using the information instantly as you learn it, your brain will connect the activity with the information itself and therefore store the information more deeply into your brain than if you would just repeat it to yourself over and over again. A quick general tip is that you combine everything that you learn with a picture so that your brain can remember it for a longer period of time. Memory athletes use this kind of method as well to remember lots of information in a matter of minutes. But to remember information for a longer period of time, you have to put it to practice instantly. This will most of the time even enable you to understand the whole information better, which will make it stick far more. But even if you made no preparations for the topic or task at hand, practice will still get you further and far more experience than if you would just learn the same information over and over again without actually practicing it. I will always prefer the practical way to the theoretical one because learning and remembering the information will be far easier and faster. But of course, the combination of the two will give you the most amount of progress and far more knowledge to work with. Another tip is to mimic the successful people in this context. If you want to be the best in one thing or just want to be able to learn more efficiently, then look at what the experienced people do in that field. Look at everything from the simple things like the order and planning up to the habits and rituals. Obviously, some of the things will work better for them than for you, but you yourself can learn step by step what the best tactic is for you and then can adjust it to be as or more efficient than them. This will also be a learning phase of its own, but it will give you far more progress and save you a lot of time. Then, kind of like writing it down in your own words, teach other people what you have just learned. There again, you will have to formulate it in your own words and will have to thoroughly think about it so that it will push you to fully understand and dive into the topic. There, you won't only teach it to the other person, but to yourself so that the repetition will make you remember it for longer. To really make the right information stick and to keep advancing it, you need a constant source of feedback. If it is just some indirect feedback in form of a video or direct feedback from another person, this will correct you when you learned something wrong or didn't do it quite right. The best kind of feedback is directly from another person because they can instantly stop you when you've done something wrong and correct you. One of your family members or another person via a video call can instantly correct you before you learn something the wrong way, so that later you don't have to unlearn the information. There are multiple people on the internet that will give you their experience and time in exchange of some money. And trust me, paying money to enhance your own knowledge and skills is far more worth it than to spend it on anything else. This will also motivate you to take the progress more seriously because you paid and therefore lost the money for it. So always learn through constructive feedback and use it to leverage your progress into another level. But in the end, only repetition makes you perfect. To really remember all of the information that you learn, you can't just put it to practice once and that's it. You have to use it almost daily, especially in the beginning, to firstly burn the information deeply into your brain. For studying and practice, the best tactic is to have daily sessions in which you repeat said activity for 15 to 30 minutes. Of course, you can practice for 1 hour or even more, but to keep yourself motivated and to better plan it into your schedule, short repetitions are far better than occasional long periods of practice. I didn't believe it at first, but when I picked up playing the guitar, I thought that I had to play at least 1 full hour before making any real progress. But as the days went on, I just lost any motivation for playing the guitar and didn't even make the progress that I wanted to make. But when I then decided to play 20 to 30 minutes daily, I was able to stick with it much better and make more progress in 1 month than I did in the last 4. So these are all the tactics that I use to learn and remember all of the information that I get from school, YouTube videos, books, and much more. Every learning phase will be different, depending on your situation and motivation, but these tips will give you a general guideline to follow so that you can make the best out of it. If you still have any questions or own ways how you learn new information, please leave them in the comment section down below. Always keep your focus on your purpose. See you next time.